Close your eyes and I want you to picture yourself as a young child walking into the gas station and picking out your favorite treat. In your head, did you picture a candy, snack, or drink with dull and sad packaging? Or did you gravitate toward labels with bright, fun colors? As a young child, your eyes would be immediately drawn to the outside more so than what is on the inside. As a teenager or young adult, this natural instinct still applies. In my survey, I found that 6 out of 12, or 50% of people in my class, believe that large alcohol companies target kids, while 9 out of 12, or 75% of people in my class, believe vaping devices are targeted at kids. On my way to school, I've heard ads on Spotify about different vaping devices. In these ads, they make it unknown that there are any harmful substances until the end of the ad. Not only do they push these warnings off till the end, but they also say them at an extremely fast pace and with a quieter pitch. Vapes I've seen on the social media platform TikTok always seem to be brightly colored. When I walk throughout the store, I see alcohol with fruity flavors, and I even saw a bottle that looked to be Bon Pop flavored. Social media apps and grocery stores are places where teens are influenced, and it concerns me how easily they are exposed to these things. With that being said, today, I will prove how large companies target underage children. You may be wondering, why does captivating packaging appeal to the younger eye, and who are the companies trying to target? To answer the first part of this question, Miria Adcock explains that long before kids utter their first word, they use colors to discern objects from one another. They rely on their sight to learn more about the world, which is why they react best to bright colors. Children start discerning colors around the 5th month as their vision is still developing. Since they find it easier to tell apart bright colors, they become drawn to them as they age. From a young age, we are naturally drawn to certain colors, and companies are taking advantage of that. As the brain continues to develop, there is no wonder why vape companies and alcohol companies target what has been embedded in our brain for so long. As for the people that these companies target, according to a study done by the RAND Corporation, young people ages 11 to 14 saw an average of 3 alcohol ads per day, which works out to be more than 1,000 per year. Now that you know who they are targeting and how they are targeting, let us look into what you can do to prevent the companies from doing so. By bringing attention to how vaping devices and alcohol companies target kids, you can prevent people from buying them. The organization Prevention Action Alliance gives many ways to bring attention. The first one being by teaching media literacy to young people. They learn to recognize ads and analyze the influence they have on viewers, including themselves. In other words, we can give them skills they need to protect themselves from ads' influence and promote critical thinking. If those around you have already been affected, you can still bring awareness. The CDC recommends looking up The Real Cost, which reaches teens where they spend most of their time, in school and online. The campaign is also placing e-cigarette prevention materials in high schools across the nation, both in school bathrooms and on educational digital platforms accessed by students during the school day. These 2 simple suggestions will help educate the people who are being affected and will open them up to ways to get help. Since you now have an understanding of how you can help, let's take a look into what happens if you do not. Imagine all the peers around you that you could help by bringing awareness, but suffer the consequences of participating in these harmful actions. According to the CDC, using nicotine in adolescence can harm the parts of the brain that control attention, learning, mood, and impulse control. People around you could be experiencing this all because of a vaping device that was wrongly advertised towards them. Not only underage vaping can cause damage, but also consuming alcohol underage could cause serious damage. The organization Prevention Action Alliance also states the effects alcohol can have on the developing brain, such as it kills about 88,000 people every year, is a leading cause of driving fatalities, can interact negatively with medicines, and can result in alcohol use disorder, which includes addiction, among other effects. This chart shows the responses of a survey answered by a handful of students in 2018. The students were in grades 8th through 12th And eighth graders had admitted to drinking in the last month, and 4 of them said they binge drink. You can influence and potentially save those around you. In the future, since vapes are a newer technology, there is no certainty for the consequences. Drinking at a young age could lead to liver failure in adulthood and alcoholism. Unfortunately, at the moment, not everyone can be positively influenced. That is why you need to step up and take action. As vaping becomes more popular and large alcohol companies continue to produce and sell new products, it will only get more difficult to prevent from advertising aiming at kids. It may not seem like a lot, but you could positively affect someone by telling them the damage these substances can create. After having such knowledge, they will not fall for advertisements and they are more likely to positively influence others. Your positive peer pressure will help get them in the right direction. Now that you know how packaging influences a buyer, who companies target, how attention can be brought up to this issue, and what happens to people who are unfortunately targeted successfully, I hope the other 50% and 25% of people who voted no can agree with me that advertisements should not be aimed at children. Think about those around you. Maybe you have a young sibling or even a child. Do you want them to be influenced by certain advertisements?